We get babies from the hospital. I don't know, do we really get them from the hospital or they get delivered at the hospital? But we don't often get a manual on how to raise children. So I'm going to share with you a little bit of my books in my library. I got plenty of books. I'm an avid reader. I enjoy burying myself in a book, and I'm old school. Yes, I will carry heavy books like this as opposed to audiobooks and Kindle. So nothing against that, but I just like the feel of the book, and it's also mindfulness for me. It helps me to detox and relax. So first, my favorite one would be this one, the Bible. So you can see it's the Adventure Bible. It's easy to help and teach kids about your faith. If you're a Christian, then you can have conversations like this one has got the 10 Commandments for kids. This is based on Exodus 20, verse 1 to 17, and Deuteronomy 5, verse 7 to 21. So number one says you may not love anyone or anything more than you love God. Number two, you may not worship or put more importance on any person or thing other than God. Number five says you must worship only the Lord, not your friend, not a movie star or sports hero, not a cow, skateboard, nothing. Three, you may not swear. Use God's name in a loving way, never express anger or frustration. Number four, one one day of your week should be set aside for resting and worshiping God. Five, respect your parents, love them, and the Lord will reward you in your life. Six, you may not hate other people. Don't ever think of hurting someone else in any way. Number seven, keep your thoughts and your actions pure. Husbands and wives should share their special love only with each other. Number eight, do not take anything that does not belong to you. So it's telling them don't steal. Number nine, you may not tell lies, especially when that lie will hurt someone else. Number 10, do not be jealous of what others have. You may not be jealous of your friend's new toy or clothes or that big house your neighbor lives in. Be satisfied with what you got. So this becomes a baseline and foundation for me in terms of raising my children. I don't put these values on other people, but I do have friends that share the same values, so it's easy. Then boundaries with kids. So this is really important, teaching children boundaries. So parenting is very unique because what I find is that our parenting style is influenced by many, many, many different factors. Sometimes the lack of knowledge influences how we parent. Sometimes too much knowledge influences how we parent. We may end up being confused. Sometimes trauma from past experiences of our own early childhood influences how we parent. Sometimes it's the structure of parenting from early child, from our family of origin. So boundaries are really essential for children to learn quite early because it helps them to understand the limits of certain things in life. So I'm not going to go through this whole thing, but let me just pick a few things from the table of contents here. So 10 boundaries, principles based. Kids need to know what will happen if I do this. The law of sowing and reaping, which is very essential, cause and effect. If you do this, there will be a natural consequence. And sometimes the consequence is inflicted, what's the right English word? The consequence is enforced. Is that the right word? I'm not sure. It's enforced by a grown up in your life, pulling my own wagon, law of responsibility. So you can't just be a dead weight. When it's teamwork, you have to do your bit. The same with families, right? Sometimes we have family members that really don't pull any wagon and just lean on the other one so much that it start creating resentment. And you need to teach kids from young already and I can't do it all, but I'm not helpless either. So the law of power. I'm not the only one who matters. The law of respect, life beyond, because I'm a mommy. The law of motivation. The pain can be a gift. The law of evaluation. This is absolutely essential because I see a lot of children are not permitted to feel uncomfortable. So what you find is parents overcompensating so that the child does not have the so-called negative emotions. So in that, children don't learn that you can feel discomfort, you can feel angry, frustrated, you can disagree, and you learn to repay. You learn other skills, and you also learn to be resilient. Tantrums don't need to be forever. The law of proactivity, and I'm happy when I'm thankful. The law of envy. So it's kind of echoing what we got from the Bible here. And then raising the entitlement-free child. So it gives you bickering siblings, teacher conflicts, birthday parties. I won't go through all of it as well. So we've got quite a lot of things here. What is entitlement? Understanding emotions, impulses, parental dilemma. So it speaks to your style as well. What makes you let a child be entitled? Sometimes parents already instill those values in children, thinking they're doing them well, but they create a sense of entitlement because your child is special to you. It's not always special to everybody else in the community. So bear that in mind. So when you're raising them, raise them to be an individual that can coexist in an environment where they might not matter, so that they're not impacted by what's going on around them and seeking validation, external validation from other people. never enough, quick fixes, entitlement, burnout. And then we've got entitlement-free parenting, core assumptions, and entitlement-free staying on course when things get a little challenging, bedtime, at home, morning chaos, stubbornness, bedtime opposition, boredom, heating parents, bickering siblings, cleanup, praise and feelings, I love you, I hate you, being different, over dependent on one parent, self image, praise, apologies. So you name it, we've got a lot. School, money, gifts, there's a whole lot. And we've got the Parenting Bible. This is very, very old school books, but I still see a lot of value in this is a 2002 book, so quite a while away. So this one talks about the first 5 years of life, which are very essential because that's when the brain is doing a lot of its developing that sets the child for many things later in life. Dependency, we're talking about sleeping, eating, independence, setting limits, children's thinking, fears, imagination, toys, plays, socialization, being nice, caretakers, and early education. So I know that the iPad, Roblox, all of those things without trying to single out any specific gadgets or anything, but sometimes those have become caregivers for children. And the scary bit is that some parents are not well informed about what's actually going on with what children watch. So you want to be very careful because you may develop neural pathways that might be hard when the child is no longer in your home environment mainly, but at school and in other settings where they're required to follow a certain structure. So be mindful of that. So it gives the different age groups as well. So that's that one. I'm running out of time. All right, let me see. The Parent Journal. This I'll come and show you. This is a very cool book. And then Complete Baby and Child Care, Everything You Need to Know. So this is another one. I won't go through it. So those are the books I'm reading currently. And ask me some questions, and I'll come with some nuggets as I continue to read, as well as my experience as a parent. Thank you for watching this far. If you have watched to the end, cheers.